Sean and I we saw the movie Moulin Rouge and fell in love with it. And we sort of simultaneously came up with the idea. We were driving in the car, and I said, I was thinking about Moulin Rouge, and he said, yeah, in the show next year.
Since I had done Star Wars and Michael had done Schoolhouse Rock, it was completely up in the air for Colleen. She could have done anything she wanted to do.
It's actually roughly based on a few of the characters have a couple of similarities with what we have before, but it's actually a completely original story. Borrowed a couple of songs from there, so the overall feel is a decadent nightclub in space, of course.
The convention this year, LostCon, where we do our shows, was it was being run by a friend of ours, Tadao, who's been in both Lux Radio Theater and Lux Schoolhouse Theater, as well as doing a lot of helping us out. He helped out at our telethon show, and so we really felt like we owed him a favor.
When we first started performing as a group, we thought that the best outlet for performing would be the science fiction convention. And if you've never been to a science fiction convention, the ones that we usually perform at are basically a weekend-long gathering of people who are interested in all aspects of science fiction, from comic books to movies to books. And it's a collection of almost 2,000 people, all with similar interests, who come all weekend long to be immersed in science fiction. We've been doing this in some form or another for probably about 7 years.
It's beautiful, lovely Angie Dickinson.
It's wonderful to be here, Bob.
Well, Angie, you look great.
Oh, thank you, Bob.
So tell me, Angie, how'd you get all that hair in that jar? That's a trick Bill Shatner would like.
We've been a three-legged, two-armed, two-headed alien from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Follow me, foolish slaves.
Yes, mistress. Oh, hey, what? You think she bought it?
When we did Lux Radio Theater, we did the 1940s radio broadcast that was the 1977 film Star Wars transplanted into the 40s and done live for an audience of anywhere from 600 to 800 people. And we did everything. We had live sound effects there. We had computer-generated sound effects. We had 6 actors on stage doing 40 different voices so that we could have all these stars of a bygone era in Star Wars. Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn and Mickey Rooney.
Luke, come to dinner.
Luke's Aunt Beru, a warm, motherly woman.
What? I suggest you try it again, Luke. Put this helmet on. Now, this time, let go of your conscious self and act on instinct.
Oh, gee, with the blast shield down, I can't even see.
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion has not helped you conjure up the stolen data tapes, or given you clairvoyance enough to find the rebels' hidden fort.
I find your lack of faith disturbs me.
Isn't there anyone who knows the true meaning of the apocalypse? Isn't there anyone who knows what Armageddon is all about?
I'll tell you what Armageddon is all about, Charlie Brown.
I can act as I please.
Does this mean we're finally going to realize the unspoken love that exists between us?
Are you crazy?
Why not? With your musical talent and my beauty, we're mankind's last best hope for continuing the human race after the big one.
Look, Lucy, I wouldn't repopulate the Earth with you if you paid me $100.
25 cents, please.
25 cents? That's robbery.
It's not robbery, Charlie Brown. Wars affect trade and commerce. Wars create scarcity.
But you're still the same person you were last week, and there's still only one of you.
It's useless to argue with macroeconomics, Charlie Brown.
I'd eat Hansel and Gretel.
No, I eat Hansel, but I keep Gretel to propagate the species. All right, kids, I gotta go.
And we started talking about the way that Sean and I had met, and how I had just broken up with somebody else, and I was nervous about the fact that I really liked him a lot, and I was kind of on the rebound from somebody.
We sort of turned all of our attention to that and all of our energy towards that, and started this multi-month process of what do we want to include in it, how can we change it, how can we make it our own story.
And so we told Michael the story, and Michael, after a lot of talking about it, Michael built the basic framework. There are two ways we could do this. We could either frame it first and base some of the songs and sketches around it, or we could decide what songs and sketches we're doing and base the framing around the songs and sketches.
It's a four-way love story, and it ends up in the right place, but it starts off not in the right place, and so it's the story of how that comes to be. So it's actually it's a neat story.
And then Michael wrote the script, and then we went back over it, and the three of us collaborated again to edit it and change it. If we did an opera, we'd have to do it like in Klingon or.
Colleen is actually executive producing. This is her baby ultimately. But I'm directing and writing and starring and probably a couple of other things. I'm not sewing that.
In the credits for our Lux Productions, Michael and Sean and I are all listed as producers, but a little closer to reality of what it is that Michael is more the writer-director and music wrangler is his title. Sean is more art director, creative control, that sort of thing. And I do costuming and all of the various paperwork.
Basically starting at the end of February, after the decision had been made to switch themes from the Spaceman's Home Companion to Le Toit Rouge, we started then working on the script with Michael writing and Colleen and I editing and making suggestions, and then music selection, deciding who we can get, and fleshing out the characters.
The Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend and the Hindi love song are the ones that I see that I don't think we can do.
Okay.
Because of the production value. The singing, Sean and Michael, as always, are really good at it, and they sing really well. Elizabeth is an opera singer, and she is just fabulous. Colleen Kennedy's been working with the Bohemians, and they sound great too. So I'm really happy about the music. The singing is going along really well. The dancing, we've almost got it down. We're like, right there. I think that for the show, we should be doing great. And Nicole has just been fabulous with getting together our dance routine in just like that. She whipped up our dance routine and taught it to all of us, and she is just fantastic.
They just want to do the best possible show they can do, and that's great. I won't say that it's surprising, but it's so appreciated by all of us, and to have everybody come out and say, I want to do this show again because it's so much fun. It actually carries through to the audience.
The ambassador would like to meet with you tomorrow night.
I told you, Zidler. I'll have nothing to do with him.
A little less angry in the first part of the scene.
Okay.
Okay, you're not fuming at him already. You're just simply not going to do it.
We are the champions.
Because we didn't want to just copy the movie as much as we like some of the musical numbers that we actually kept in the show and decided to produce in the show. We wanted to have a different story, and we wanted it to be sort of a coherent story with nobody really super nasty. We wanted you to kind of like everybody.
We don't want people to go in the first 2 minutes, watch 2 minutes of our show and go, oh, they're just doing the movie.
Right. Well, that's the very fine line there.
Yeah. You like Moulin Rouge, right?
Oh,
Okay. We're doing a Moulin Rouge evening. And basically it's going to be, it's kind of Moulin Rouge, but the theme of Tadau's convention is Space Station. So we are doing the Moulin Rouge that is on the space station.
One of the neat things about the show is there are actually many layers of where people are in their lives. The first couple of numbers actually take place on stage at L'Etoile Rouge, which is the name of the club at which Lux After Dark takes place. But then a lot, all the guys' scenes are, well, it was another night, another performance.
Another poor man's wage. We're actors. It's our job. To be an actor is to bring meaning to everyday life. To be! It's the core of the Bohemian revolutionary ideal.
I've always secretly wanted to learn to sing, and we were lucky in that Colleen Kennedy came in and helped me through singing my song, and I'm really hoping that I can do it right. I'm nervous about it. Everything else seems to be coming together really well. We're still having a couple of bobbles with trying to remember our lines, because this is a more line intensive. This is more of an actual play than we usually do. The Adventures of Luke Skywalker was a play, but we were allowed to have our scripts right in front of us. We didn't have to memorize anything.
Here, all of the musical numbers are broken up by a complete story. So it's actually a lot of work. It's very ambitious.
Since we knew that we were not going to be performing a show in the 2003 year, we really pulled out all the stops, and we went, you know what? We have a year to live it down if they don't buy the show. So let's go absolutely berserk.
Face you get sprung. Wanna pull out the trunk, 'cause you notice that buckle's stuck. Even the jeans she's wearing, I'm hooked and I can't stop staring. Oh baby, I wanna get whipped out and take your picture. My homeboy tried to warn me, but that what you got, ladies. Ladies, ladies, you wanna roll my Mercedes? Turn around.
it's really great to know that people really did get a charge out of it. And I'm always surprised to the extent where people will come up and say, you know, I saw the Tango de Roxanne and it was just such an amazing number and I can't believe you guys did it live and who knew you guys could sing like that, and I started crying and this big burly guy next to me over here was crying, and you know, you get stories like that you just didn't expect, because you expect people to be entertained, but I never expect to really move anybody on an emotional level because it's a science fiction convention.
Well, Andy, I hope you write a good play. We'll need one.
Oh, I'm gonna write a swell one.